Aloha, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to what is not obviously the LONESTAR Hawaiian garage, guys. Here in beautiful, sunny Southern California. Guys, welcome to vacation. We are actually on vacation this week. Actually, technically it's not vacation. I had 2 weeks of paternity leave left. And given this COVID situation does not seem to be going anywhere, we figure we might as well spend some time with the wife's family. So yes, this is my in-laws garage. My father-in-law has a nice, beautiful 1955 Chevy pickup. As you can see here, he's in the middle of a rebuild process, and he went all the way down to metal. Like, honestly, the right way to do it, he's doing it the right way. Though he kind of doing it the right way, it takes absolutely forever, as you can see here. Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him on this truck. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful when he's finished. They also got their GLS 450. This bad boy actually just made the trip all the way from Texas to here in Southern California. So they recently picked this car up actually less than a year ago. They wanted something bigger they could fit the grandkids in, so they went ahead and went big with the Mercedes Benz, and this thing rides like freaking Rolls Royce. It is so pleasurable to be in. We actually took it from Texas to here because situation had it, they're actually out in Oklahoma. My wife's older brother just bought a house in Oklahoma, moved from Missouri to Oklahoma. They went out to Missouri to help them move to Oklahoma. They were in Oklahoma, so they drove down to Texas. We went from Texas all the way to California, so here we are now. Right? Good? Got it? Good. But my favorite part of coming to this beautiful sunny Southern California home is this bad boy right here. A 2004 C5 Corvette. This is a base model. This is nothing too crazy racing-wise special. It's got the LS1 5.7 liter V8. It has an aftermarket AFE intake here, which actually adds a few horsepower. But besides that, nothing too crazy. Just an old, reliable Corvette. This thing is so much fun to drive. It's like a big go-kart on the road. And given it is Chevy, given it is a Corvette, and given I have mentioned I am looking at a C5 to possibly purchase, we do have some work to do on it today. I offered my help to repair something that needs repair on that car. It is a 2004. We are in 2020, so yes, it is 16 years old. It's an old car, but it's still absolutely gorgeous. And I keep peeking over here, guys, because that sun is so freaking bright. We're gonna run to Walmart quick, so we need to run some errands. So we're gonna hop in this beautiful 6-speed Corvette. Yes, in fact, it is a 6-speed manual. Heck yes. And yes, we have the car seat in here. Don't judge me. I took my son for a drive just on the back roads. Don't worry, it is legal technically. He had a blast. But anyways, let's go to Walmart. We'll be right back to start working on this thing. I hate that Walmart. So loud. There's too many people on earth. Oh yeah. I missed the stick shift. So much fun. This car just still feels a little bit raw because it has some of the like electronic, you know, creature comforts you want in a normal car, but it still kind of feels like a little bit unrefined, if that makes sense. It's a little bit notchy, it's a little bit rattly, it's a little bit classic. But it has, you know, air conditioning, a radio, it has, you know, nice steering wheel feel, has a decent suspension. I don't know, guys, C5, what do you think? Falling back in love with the C5 again. Tis a problem with the stick shift. Man, I like this car, guys. I know when we did kind of the counting and the voting and getting your feedback, the C5 Corvette, actually the Z06 platform is what I'd be looking at, not necessarily the base model. The Z06 platform got last in all the rankings. It went Monte Carlo, a Z01 Camaro, a Z06 C6 Corvette, a SS 1LE Camaro, and then lastly was the C5 Z06. Apparently, it's not the one you guys want to see, but I might go ahead and make a bad decision anyways. So what we are working on today while I'm here, so I have two relatively useful hands. So what I'm going to do is what I noticed we were driving the other day headlights come on, and they both come up just fine. But one common problem in these 5th generation Corvettes is that one's good, that one's good. Let's go ahead and turn these off now. The headlight needs a little love because I think the motor is going out. They come up just fine. And then we close. So one common problem on these headlights, guys, is there's actually stoppers that are made of these plastic things right here. So what happens when that motor comes up and down, it'll move until it hits a stopper made out of this plastic, and either the plastic will go bad and kind of start falling apart, or the motor itself. So you pull it apart, either fix it or replace it with a new motor, which he actually does have a new motor right in that garage. So what we're gonna be doing today is replacing that motor for him. So to knock this out, guys, like everything else we do on this channel, we're gonna figure it out as we go. We got 2 Torx Bics. We're gonna try to get this top cover off. Probably gonna pop the headlamp up, and there's gonna be some a plastic shroud up on the side. That's gonna have some Phillips screws to get that off as well. So let's go ahead and start cranking on that. You guys are going to a time lapse as always. So cue the music. Let's go. All right, turns out you can get all the bolts out of here without actually removing the headlamp. We went ahead and removed the top cover because I didn't want to scratch it, working all around it. And it was like 4 bolts, so it came off really quick. But as far as the motor goes, there's 3 bolts to hold the motor in, and then 1 bolt that actually uses for the actuator. So that's all taken apart, 3 10mm bolts. They're all right there. We're gonna pop this new motor in and be good to go. Now, one thing there is this plastic piece here, which holds the power source, but it looks like this thing is meant to break. Broke it.
That's 3.
This is the new one. This is the new one. There you go. Exact same issue. So we got 1 10mm bolt that's gonna go on here. This is what actually turns from the motor to lift the headlamp up and put it back down. We're gonna put that one on first, and then these 3. Got a bolt and 10 mils. Then plug it all in. Be good to go. That's a winner. Back down. Well, guys, here we are. Check this out. Da-da-da-dun. Ta-da! Guys, we have headlamps again. We were actually just discussing how American cars, we measure in inches, not millimeters. There's gaps everywhere, which I want to solve, and I'm not a perfectionist, but I know I can solve these by cutting and making this higher and solving these gaps. But we have 2 headlamps. They are up. They are working. We are good. That was a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be. It always is. I need to get my own Corvette. Votes yes or no? Corvette?
Yes.
Not Corvette. I love that car. They also have their Mercedes E350. Now this one has really been put through the ringer. It's got nearly 300,000 miles on it now. Can you believe that? And this thing runs like it's still brand new. This car is so well built, and it's really, really cool looking. And this thing still looks cool today. The styling on this is going to last forever. This will look cool 20 years from now. But given it is a 2008, has nearly 300,000 miles on it, it has a few little quirks that we need to take care of. The passenger seat, for some reason, the entire seat rocks back and forth. But actually diving further, looking at where that rocking's coming from, you see the movement right there. What you see is there's a bolt going through holding the front end of this up. And from the research I just did, there's a rubber bushing that holds that bolt there. And after a while, i.e. 12 years, that bushing eventually goes bad. And when it goes bad, the seat rocks. So step number 1, we're gonna pull the bolt, check if the bushing's even there anymore, and see what we can do to fix it the cheap and easy way. All right, I've made an executive decision. We're gonna turn the car around because I'm working in the sun. And it's getting a little warm. Oh, Mom, you drive so close to the steering wheel, Mom. There we go. Look at that, guys. 298,629 miles. They're almost to 300,000 miles on this beast. And it's still a really, really nice car. I really like this thing. Okay, we have our culprit, guys. And here we have the bolt that holds the front end of the seat down. And that white piece there is what used to be the bushing. Like this stuff falling apart, that used to be a bushing. And basically what that does, it keeps the seat from moving around too much. But the reason they put a bushing on this bolt is to cut down on the vibration and the noise you would typically hear with just metal on metal contact. But the problem with that is that bushing does go bad after a while and causes... What we're gonna do now, this looks like, yeah, all of that is just pieces of the bushing that have just basically turned into mush. So they do sell repair kits for this, but given what we do on the channel, we're gonna fix this ourselves with some Gorilla Tape, stick it back in there, and I guarantee you the Gorilla Tape will outlast a repair bushing. But Gorilla Tape. So the bolt has a little lip right here, and what we're gonna do is actually create a seal with this tape that basically makes it flush to this top portion, which will hold the seat in place, give us the bushing we need, and it will last longer than anything else known to man. All right, let's check that. Pretty flush. Put a little bit of overlap on the edge because we can squish that down a little bit. Again, just a little bit. Yeah, that's coming from the back. The back one. All right, front one's done. Just found out that we have the same issue in the back. So we're gonna rinse and repeat. All right, so we got the two back ones pretty much taken care of, the one front right, and we are quite a bit better than we were, but that noise still is that front left one. So literally all four bushings of this front seat are just completely shot. When I say shot, they are actually disintegrated. When I pull the bolt out, what used to be rubber is now kind of like a gooey glue, and it just kind of like melts off, literally. So it's, I don't know what the deal is. So unfortunately, the front left is the most difficult and horribly accessible bolt. I thought it was just gonna be one bolt, and it ends up being all four. Well guys, we are finally back in town. Sorry for the lapse in content and the lack of exciting content on this upload, but really wanted to take some time with the family, get out and away, you know, from where we live. We've just been here for too long and under quarantine and working from home. It's just good to get out and new scenery. Fortunately, we were able to get out to California. It was absolutely gorgeous in Southern California. If it wasn't so freaking expensive to live there and some of the political natures of California and taxation and all the other crap going on, it might be a really fun place to live. I just can't handle that. So it's good to be back in Texas. It is so good to be home. But I want to thank you guys for joining in for this week's upload. I will tell you that there's another upload coming very, very soon, which I'm starting actually right this moment. On the Silverado. Yes, we are back with the Silverado in our next video, so stay tuned for that, guys. We are doing something which you guys have heavily requested for a long time now, so finally get into that. But if you guys have not subscribed to the channel just yet, join the LONESTAR Hawaiian family. Scroll down, subscribe below if you enjoyed this one. If you want to see some more Charger content, Silverado content, or we can pull out the old Mercedes, let me know in the comments below. Thank you again so much for all the support on the channel. We'll see you guys in a few days for our next video with the OG Silverado. Until then, y'all take care and aloha.